Yes. Oh, finally. He hit that just after he hit the water. Well, I'm here at Brogo Dam this morning. Absolutely beautiful little bass impoundment down on the south coast on what is an absolutely cracking day. No wind so far, picture perfect. Apparently the wind's supposed to pick up a little bit later, but for now, conditions couldn't get any better. I think I'm just going to drift along some weedy edges here. There's a fairly distinct weed line along most of the edges, and just sink little chatterbaits and spinnerbaits along there to start with. See if we can get a fish or two. How good does this look? Absolutely love this place. Starting off throwing a bladed jig or a chatterbait. Yeah, it's some American brand. Can't remember exactly what it is. Looks good in the water though. Feels good through the rod tip. Only just started, so no inquiries yet, but hopefully find something lurking along these weed edges. Yes. Oh, finally. He hit that just after he hit the water. He must have kept following it. Can you make another go? Oh, he's only a little tacker. Still, I'm on the board. Yes. Grab him. Beautiful little fish. There we go. Nice little Aussie bass. Oh, I'm on the board. Let him go. Well, I was using a little 1/8 ounce jackal spinnerbait to get that first bass. Since it's so reedy and weedy in this bay here, I can hear fish boofing occasionally right up in the reeds. So change over to a little, it's a chase baits bobbin frog, what they call them. Should be able to retrieve this over the weeds and chuck it into the reeds and hopefully entice a fish out. There we go, changed to a lunker hunt popping frog, I think it's called. Should make a little bit more noise on the surface. I think that bobbing frog was a bit too realistic and quiet. Jeez, he's a big boy, that one. Wouldn't you know it, as soon as the GoPro SD card fills up and I can't film with that anymore, I managed to actually catch a good one. Well, a good one for Brogo. Come here, mate. There we go. Beautiful chunky Brogo bass. Put up one hell of a fight. Jeez, I love the way these things fight. Hits so hard. He towed me around for a while. Had the kayak going left, right and centre. Looks like he's been chewing on a possum. Very beautiful fish. Alright, we'll let him go. See you, mate. Finally, a good one. And it all came on a bit of a lure change up. Went over to the heavier gear, 3 to 6 kilo and 3,000 reel. Got him on one of those Daiwa jig spins, and that's a Kayak Fat Impact, I think. One of their ones anyway. Nice thump on these blades, you can really feel it through your rod tip. Anyway, yeah, maybe the size or colour or something change made a difference. That's where I got that fish. He was just sitting on the outside of that stand of reeds there. Well, the clouds have rolled in. Breeze has picked up a little bit, but it's manageable. Still pretty tough going. Only managed the 2 fish for the session so far. Both have come on spinnerbaits. One small one, I guess a little bit bigger, I suppose, the Daiwa jig spin. Fishing a really nice looking little bay here. It's semi-protected from the wind. Bit of structure in here. Looks good. Except for when I bugger up a cast. Well, I thought I might go through the gear I'm using today. I've got 2 setups. One sort of heavy, I guess, and the other light. The heavy setup, or what I call heavy, 3 to 6 kilo miller rods, the Vibe Freak, with a 3000 Shimano sustain. I think I've got some 8-pound braid on that. I don't remember exactly what it was that long ago I spooled it up. Down to some 12-pound leader. And right now I'm still throwing the Daiwa jig spin with a, I think it's a 3-inch Kayak on it. Great setup for throwing the slightly heavier stuff, anything 1/4 ounce and above. That's what I bought it for. Been throwing some heavier spinnerbaits and chatterbaits. Throwing the frog around before in the reeds and grass. It's really good for that. You sort of want the backbone and the power if you hook something in thick cover. So that's my heavier setup. The lighter setup is a Abu combo, the Abu Salty Stage KRX light casting, paired with the Abu ALX 2,500. Got some 6-pound braid on this, down to an 8-pound leader, and that's the little Jackal 1/8 of an ounce spinnerbait I used before to catch that smaller fish. Fantastic little rod, this one. I just heard recently they've been discontinued, which, if that's the case, that's a bit disappointing. This is the 2 to 6 kilo rod, slightly heavier than a 2 to 4 I'd use for bream or trout or something like that, but still light enough to throw the light lures. I've been throwing anywhere from about 1/16 of an ounce today to about 1/8 of an ounce. Really good for that, and it's still got a ton of power for a rod of this line class. Handled that little fish, no worries, but I've caught some big fish on this rod. Anyway, that's the 2 bass setups I brought today. I'll just go through some of the lures I've been throwing around today, and stuff that I usually bring with me bass fishing. Daiwa double clutch. That's the, what is it, 75 mil one. Usually bring that every time with me. Really good for working parallel to the deep weed edges. Caught plenty of bass on that one before. Stock standard in any bass fisherman's arsenal. Jackal TN50. The rattle in these things is unreal. I had a little bump on this before. Again, just hopping it alongside the deep weed edges. This little soft plastic from Fish Arrow. Little curl tail minnow. This has become one of my go-tos actually when it comes to bass fishing. Caught a ton of bass on this. Most of the time I'll rig it with a little jig spin on it, but today I've just been throwing it around as is. I wanted something just very natural and without any flash and vibration when I was experimenting earlier, trying to find what the bass like. Throwing around a little surface walker earlier this morning. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's just not the weather or they're not really taking a huge amount of stuff off the surface yet, but didn't get any inquiries on that. A little 1/8 ounce Jackal chatterbait. Oh, I tricked myself. These little light ones I throw around on the lighter setup. I've got some heavier stuff which I throw on the heavier rod, but really nice little finesse presentation. I find that the Jackals are one of the better chatterbaits when it comes to the micros, I guess you could call them. Anything 1/8 of an ounce and smaller. The blade starts straight away instantly when you start winding. There's no delay in it, so they start working straight away. Super good lures. And you saw this before, the Lunker Hunt frog, popping frog, which I threw around in the reeds and grass. Super hard to snag these things. Just peg them into the reeds and hop them over weed and all sorts, and you know, they barely foul at all. Super good little lure. Caught a few bass on this. Still early days for me when it comes to these style of lures, but they show a lot of promise. I just don't think it's the conditions for it today. So anyway, that's a few of the lures I was using today. Alright, just as I was talking about lures and there not being much surface activity, I've seen a fish bust up in the corner of this little bay over here. I wish I still had the GoPro working, but unfortunately this will have to do. No, nothing on that one. Another slow day. When's this going to end? Well, I've got tomorrow to redeem myself, otherwise it's 3 weeks running of super slow sessions. Oh, well, that's fishing for you. You can't win them all, but I thought by now we would have been able to have a decent session or two, but just keep trying.